our own payment processor. We buy our own bank in Lithuania. We build our own software. Fuck Discord, custom school. We build everything ourselves. We launch it all on our domain, hustlersuniversity.ai. The British government writes to the Antiguans who own the .ai.
Yeah, what's up, people? Welcome back to the channel.
And say it's a website for terrorism. They on the planet. Domain wiped. You type the domain in, seized. Terror. The fuck? Had to get a new domain name. Relaunched the whole fucking school. I just got out of jail. I got PTSD. I'm still fucking laying in bed looking for cockroaches all the fucking time. And my whole fucking school's fucked. But they've taken all my fucking money. Yeah, I have money hidden, but I need to fucking fight legal bills, legal fees. Kids need to eat. So I need to get to school. I want money. What else am I going to do? I'm locked in my fucking house. And also, I'm like, fuck these people. Because the school's how I defend myself, because that's the 28,000 Clippers. Let's get the fucking school back online. So I go to I'm not believing. So you know what the first thing I'm going to do is? I'm going to sue Girl A. Later. Hopefully this is why I'm getting the messages I'm getting now. That's why we're doing this video. Because Girl A is being sued. So we have the lawsuit against Girl A in A. Business, they destroyed my mental health, they put me in a fucking cell, they've ruined my reputation, they kept me from my fucking kids. Sue her. Why not? It's the first thing we do. The second thing we do is start trying to get the school back online. And you know what? In my ignorance, even still at this point, I believe it's almost the end of the story. I'm walking up and down, pacing, and they're like, you're on house arrest. I'm like, They're just trying to get the public ready for my release. Soften it little by little. Not just to let me 100% free. They're afraid I'm going to fly away out of rain or something. A couple months of house arrest, right? No big deal. My house unlocked. And this is when my brother and I are doing the emergency meeting podcast. Our first emergency meeting we did after jail had 500,000 live viewers. 500,000 live. And after I did that podcast, my first emergency meeting, there were 500,000 live viewers, and we talked about what they did to us in jail. We said the Romanian state are full of shit and are corrupt. It's a fucking lie. My lawyer rushed to my house in the middle of the night. Comes to my house. He goes, Andrew. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing here? He goes, Andrew, listen to me. You have to listen to me. I'm like, what? He goes, nobody in history has ever spoken against the Romanian state and survived. You cannot call judges corrupt. You cannot call the system corrupt. You have to say, I respect the system. I look forward to a good decision in the end. I'll participate with the system. We have to let everyone forget about this. And when everyone forgets, they're going to drop their corrupt case. It's going to go away. Did you embarrass the Romanian state? They're going to fucking bury you. The last guy who tried this in 1997 got 35 years in Rahova, the worst jail in Europe. You're never going to survive it. And I said to Alan, I was like, but I look fucking guilty. They fucking slandered me everywhere. I look fucking guilty. If I shut up, I look guilty. I can't just be quiet. He goes, you're going to make my job impossible, Andrew, if you talk. You have to stop doing these emergency meetings. You have to be quiet. Me, him, and Tristan sat there, and I said, Alan, if I shut up and they lock me up, I'm going to torture myself back in that room thinking I had a chance to tell the truth about how corrupt this is. But if I tell the truth how corrupt it is and they lock me up, I'll know I went down swinging. Look, I just lost a fight. I'm not saying I always win, but I don't quit. And I said, Alan, your job's going to be hard. Because fuck them. They fucking ruined my life. I can't sleep. It was fine. There's 2 foot in the videos of all the tweets I was making. I had fucking nightmares. I couldn't lay in a bed without looking for fucking cockroaches. I couldn't have a blanket on me. I was fucked. If therapy was a real thing, I would have needed it. I was a fucking mess. And I was like, no, it's fucking war. It's fucking war. We're doing it. So we started doing our emergency podcasts. Emergency meeting. Romania's corrupt. This is a setup. Here's the victim saying that we haven't done anything wrong. The fucking prosecutor's a piece of shit. He's a scumbag. Fuck this dump. Fuck the cops. Fuck you. And just tell the truth. Unfazed. Last bullet. They looked at us and thought they have too much power, too much influence. Let's hit them with the most powerful weapon we have. Let's cancel them. Let's close all their accounts. Let's make them vanish. Let's destroy their influence. That's the biggest bullet they have. Imagine shooting a man with your last bullet. And he stands there.
Usifungua hapo kama ujui venye hizo nini vikimwagika utaanza kujipanga vizuri.
Going down swinging. I want to point out too
Maybe
that
upige picha ndio.
I'm sure you thought about while you were in jail. Maybe we should stop this whole affiliate campaign. Maybe the whole thing is they want me to go away, stop posting on social media. Of course, but you kept it running. I thought that before jail. When I did my final message, I decided to give up. Enough is enough. But then Tristan was like, no, fuck that. And you know one thing about Tristan and I? We ride into battle together. If Tristan and I are in a nightclub, and he says, this guy's annoying me, I'm going to hit him. I say, don't hit him. And then he hits him. Then I'm hitting him. That's how it goes. Tristan said, let's war. So I wanted to quit back when I made my final message. It was called The Final Message. That was the end. I had enough money, that was the end of it all. But after they put me through jail and all these things, and because my reputation was in the fucking gutter when I got out of jail, I was like, no, my best way to fight back is to tell the truth on emergency meeting podcasts and use my affiliate army to spread the truth. I'm not lying to anybody. Tell everyone what fucking happened. UK State was behind all this fucking shit anyway. Which is interesting because when I'm on house arrest, the BBC start calling. They call Alan first. Alan goes, the BBC want an interview. I'm like, nah, I'm not doing it. He goes, no, they really want an interview. Maybe you should talk to her. So who is it? Lucy. Hello? Hi, my name's Lucy Williams. Hi, Lucy. Nice to meet you. Hi, so, we want to do an interview. I'm like, I don't think interviews are the right thing for me to do this time. Oh, no, actually, I think you'd be interested in this one. I said, why? The Romanian state is really well known to be corrupt, and there's a lot of conversations about the corruption in the Romanian state, and we've looked up Chedo. And it turns out that the Romanian government pays hundreds of millions of dollars a year in fines to the European Union for how unsafe and unfair their jails are, because you're actually held in worse conditions than farm animals are held. They can't hold a pig in the place they held you by law. A pig that gets slaughtered. And what happens to people in Romanian jails is disgusting, so we want to talk about the corruption of the Romanian state and how bad the jails are. I'm like, you do? She goes, of course. You haven't been convicted, have you? I'm like, no, I haven't. She goes, exactly. And it should be innocent until proven guilty. I'm like, you're right, Lucy. You should be that. She goes, well, so I'm hoping we can fly over. I'm like, come over. Sure. Yeah, great. So Tristan, the BBC are going to run a point about how the corrupt these fucking dickhead Romanians are, how we're held worse than farm animals, and how it's all a fucking setup. Tristan's like, that's good. I'm like, yeah, that is fucking good. Finally, we can fix the fucking narrative. Hi, Lucy. Nice to meet you. Oh, nice to meet you. Hi. Everyone sits down today. So are you... No.
Let's start with the allegations. Have you anybody?
Absolutely not.
Have you trafficked anybody?
Absolutely not.
Exploited any women?
Absolutely not. This girl said you're... And instantly I was like, they set me up. They told me it was going to be an interview about something completely else. And they know I have mental issues. And they know I'm not sleeping. And they know I'm locked in my fucking house. And they fucking hijinxed me. And they set me up. Make me... You know, my genius, I filmed the whole thing myself just in case. And that's when I said to her, I said, Lucy, put this clip in. Lucy, don't come here. Ask the questions here at the gazebo. You don't have a badge. You're in my home. And we're two people here.
Please him and wanting him to be happy that I was just kind of, yeah, okay, do whatever you want.
And what has she do? Has she accused me of a crime? This imaginary...
It's there is a psycho manipulating.
That's a question, and I'm arguing in my house.
I'm asking you a question.
Correct, but you're not the boss here. Because I've allowed you into my house.
I'm asking you the question.
Correctly, and I'm telling you.
You get to decide the answer.
No. We're equal here. I've allowed you into my house. You don't come here with a position of authority. I'm doing you the favor as legacy media and giving you relevance by speaking to you. You're a person, I'm a person. You're not better than me. You're not above me. You can't talk to me from a position of authority. If you ask me questions, I'll ask you whatever I want in my house. And I want you to kiss your little pants. So I made a fool of Lucy. Now, I was only at a fraction of my powers. I I have to be honest, it fucking got me, bro. My head was all over the place. I was at a fraction of my powers because even when I'm on house arrest, my lawyers are constantly calling me saying they can recall you to jail anytime. Stop doing the emergency meetings. They can recall you to jail. Stop having your girlfriend over. Stop seeing your kid. If they know you're seeing your kid, that just all this trying to ruin my... I'm like, fucking just put me back in jail then. But being told you might go back is like worse than going back. Every time you're fucking... And then Lucy turns up with this hijinks, this fucking trick. But it doesn't work. And I released a whole uncut video. She looks like a fool. Even at a fraction of my powers, I destroyed her. Which really pissed off the British government. They got really mad. Because after the Lucy BBC interaction, while I'm locked in my house, I start getting letters trying to convince me to kill. It started off as DMs on Twitter from big accounts. And then it would grow into emails. And then I started getting handwritten letters. Written by psychologists, and I don't know they were psychologists, but I assume they had to have been because I've never read something so enthralling. I was never going to kill myself, but it was enthralling to read. It was interesting to read, and it was trying to convince me that my life was effectively over, and that if I martyr myself, I get to go out as a hero because of what the state has done to me, as opposed to being ground down by the state in a war I can't win, to the point where I wish I did it. And that by the time I eventually kill myself, no one's going to care. So do it while people care. And they mentioned my kids, who no one knows the names of. They mentioned the names of the mothers of my kids. And these fake accounts on Twitter, who pose to be haters, who know everything about the case, everything about my children, everything about the mothers of my children. They are fully fed the case file. They have the case file. They have all this information that are coming from these letters, trying to convince me to kill myself. I get a letter every day saying, Andrew, you're going to kill yourself effectively. You're going to do it in the end anyway. Don't do it when no one cares. Go out like a hero. You've always been a hero. You can stay a hero for eternity. Just kill yourself. And then my girlfriends start getting messages. My girlfriends and the mothers of my kids get messages. Leave Andrew. He's only going to drag your life down. You can use the government to get money from him. Go and report him for abuse. Accuse him of abuse. Sue him for money. You can get money from him. Why are you with this scumbag? Why are you staying beside him? His life is over. He's never going to be able to give you a good life. The only chance of a good life is to take his money and go find another man. My main chicks are getting these messages. The mothers of my kids are getting these messages, convincing them. And I know my women love me, but women are susceptible to pressure and psyops. They cry. And they come to me crying. Do you think you're
inamaanisha psychological operations.
Don't fucking start breaking now. That's what they want. They want you to give up hope. So that you leave. Because they realize they couldn't get to me, so they start going for all the women around me. TikTok accounts of my girlfriend. And making fun of her. She's a whore, she's a whore. One day she'll leave Andrew. Everywhere. And no matter how many times they get deleted, new ones pop up, new ones pop up. That was all funded by an NGO. And we're going to come back to this NGO. There's an NGO linked to Girl A, which we're going to come back to later. Ninja. What was the word in the letter that you interested were repeated? It was different on different podcasts. But I'm going to find one and find you an exact example of it so you can place it here, because every time they'd send me a suicide letter, next time I did an emergency meeting, I would specifically say a word from the letter, an unusual word, so they knew I read it, and they knew I was talking to them saying no. I'd say it directly before or after I told them how I was unfucking phased. Because I tell you something, when your progeny, when your grandchildren come up to you and say, why are we brokies, Dad? If you're looking for a group of men who are on the journey to become the kind of men we talk about, and also men who are already at the pinnacle, the highest echelons of masculine accountability and capability, that's what the war room is. All of these systems which are designed to create good citizens of a respectable society and preserve sanctimonium amongst the populace, actually corrupted and gay. But I'm not going to lie, they got to the women around me. Women around me were more suicidal than I was. Because they're just under so much pressure. Even like, imagine you got my daughter, you're the mother of my kid. And you're living a normal life, you don't have social media. You're a good woman, you don't go clubs, you don't go parties, you don't have social media, you don't show off, you're a nice normal woman. And you're getting letters with pictures pictures of with the name of your child and saying your child's life's over and all this shit. Like, what the fuck? This is the British government, by the way, the good guys. This is the good guys doing this, trying to convince women to kill them. They didn't tell the women to kill themselves. Trying to convince the women to leave me and take my money. Because I'm going to kill myself. This is the good guys, the good UK state. The people who didn't give a fuck about the grooming gangs, these fucking scumbags. It was all from the government. We're going to get there in the end. That all started after I destroyed the BBC. Because I beat them in their narrative war. And the entire world is just a battle for influence. That's all it is. And I had more influence than the BBC. You can't be one man with 28,000 fan pages with more influence than the BBC, causing young men to stick up for themselves in a state which is trying to extract resource from the young men and ruin their lives. The average man's life in England sucks. It's shit. They pay taxes, they're losing their country, they can't fucking do anything, go anywhere, they just build the roads, and then they're told they have to go die in a ditch in Ukraine.
3 hours peke yake.
We tell them to stand up for themselves, was considered an act of resistance against the enslavement.
Na bado 2 hours.
So the UK government's like, oh, just convince them to kill them.
Anaongea tu peke yake.
In my darkest hours,
A video jakata von popote. Hiyo ni
You know,
video
I'd play
moja
in
kutoka
bed.
mwanzo.
I'd fuck my girlfriend, and then she'd fall asleep, and I'd just lay there, and I'd be tossing and turning, and I'd be fucking staring at the wall, and night sweats, and I'd just be a fucking mess. I'd get up and start pacing around my bedroom like a fucking psycho, just pacing up and down my bedroom. I'd end up picking up one of the notes and reading the letter, just pacing up and down.
Sasa anatengeneza tu bro.
And it's my stubbornness. It was like, whoever wrote this is going to have to explain to their boss why I didn't do it. So, like, they never got close to convincing me because I'm so stubborn, Jack. No matter how suicidal I would have ever felt, I knew my life annoyed them. And that's when I'd read it, and then I'd be up all night, 48 hours no sleep. And then I'd go into the garden, and there's a video of me on a Bugatti scooter with Tristan in the garden, doing a circle. Please play the video. Because after that night, I was like, they're checking my social media to see, because I got a new letter today, and I haven't posted in 12 hours. And I just had the Romanian news is saying they might have to re-imprison me. And all this pressure's on me, all this heat's on me, and the BBC saying, and the BBC saying bad things, and I'm feeling the heat. They're gonna wait and see what the next thing I post is. Fuck you. Fuck you. I'm on a scooter with Tristan. Fuck you. Because I'm stubborn. Now we're making this video. I'll be honest, it was getting to me. But I don't believe in mercy. I don't believe my enemies are ever going to have mercy, so I don't ask for it. My dad didn't raise me that way. I wasn't raised to believe that if you're weak enough, people will feel sorry for you. I don't believe that's how the life works. I don't think if you go in front of your enemies and go, I'm a little bitch, please, that they're going to do anything other than destroy you. They're going to destroy you anyway. That's when they double down, usually. Of course. I'm going to fucking do it. Why did you read the letters so many times? Because they were so well written. They were so well written, Jack. It was a beautiful use of the English language. It was beautiful. It was convincing. It had all the trigger points. My masculinity, my ego, how I'll be a hero, how we all die in the end, how my life's already over, how it's better for the people I care about, how it's going to be good for my image. Like, it had all the psychologists did a great job. They profiled me, they watched my stuff, they wrote it all down. All the group of fucking psychologists in MI6, GCHQ, they did a fucking great fucking job. It was flawless writing. Do you have a line? I had a letter. And I'll make sure you get one. Leave it to me. Because they're in a secure location, in case something happens. But I'll make sure you get a letter. And you can read the whole thing.
The stage that discovered Africa's boldest entrepreneurs is back. Last year, it was the car. This year, the spotlight moves to Nairobi.
So then I'm in my house. 6 months of house arrest by now. And let's analyze the battlefield before we move on to the next stage. I've been to jail. They failed to keep me in prison because of one honest judge. I'm now in house arrest. I'm telling the truth. Nobody believes them anymore. The victims are on my side. I have more influence than them. I've destroyed the BBC. They're trying to starve me out. But they keep asking me. And the prosecutor keeps asking me. Drags me into the DECA office, which I'd have to go to once every couple of weeks and say, you're on house arrest. By Romanian law, on house arrest, you have to explain how you're feeding yourself. Where's your money from? It's like, oh, Alan lends it to me. I'm in debt. No, well, I'll put you back in jail. Put it back in jail. Dude, pussy bitch, put me in jail. You fuck. Alan lends me money. Alan's like, yeah, I lend him money. Where's your money? Where's your money? Where's your money? Because remember, human trafficking, but they beat the girls in my house up and ask about the Bugatti. Yeah, human trafficking, right? Fucking stealing. So I wouldn't tell them where my money was, so they're trying to starve me out. And if you actually watch, I don't know if you remember, back then, eventually, house arrest ends. They said house arrest is over, and I put a video up saying, my first free day from house arrest. But I've decided to stay in tonight. Didn't even leave the house on my first day free. Had a nice dinner with my friends. And the next day, my brother and I got a brand new Porsche GT4 RS and a McLaren 765 LT in purple delivered to our house. Why? Rich shit. They got fucking mad. So we had those cars delivered on our first day and start driving around Bucharest. Alan calls me, DECA wants to see you. I'm like, surprise, surprise. We go to the DECA office. Where are these cars from? I rented them. They're not rented, so they're not mine. Run the number plates. Some genius, some fucking genius, started a rental company in Portugal and bought a bunch of assets under this Portuguese company. And he was so nice, he'd rent them to me for €1 a week. Well, nice guy. Never met him. So they're like, we need to talk to the rental company. I'm just renting the car. Here's my rental contract. €1 a week. They get fucking angry because they know we still have money. And that's all they want, the money. While this is going on, there's DDoS attacks on the school every day. School under attack. But I'm now almost, Jack. I first got arrested in April. Then I had those 3 months, and then I went to jail in December. It's now July of the year after. I got out of jail in March. It's now July, August. It's been nearly a year since my deletion. And I'm still as big as ever. And after the year, I'm like, this must be coming to an end. One night, I'm in my house, and police turn up. But not armed like the last time. Not full SWAT. Just a normal police car. We have to talk to you. My security by now has been improved. I have like 10 dudes with guns. One of them comes in and goes, police are outside, they say they want to talk to you. Do you want to go? Or are we going to fucking have a shootout and make a big issue? I'm like, look, I'm a peaceful man. I'll see what he wants to say. I go out there and he goes, Andrew? So yeah, he goes, I want you to know I'm a fan and I respect you a lot. So thank you very much. He goes, but I need to take you to the station. I said, why? He says, there is an extradition warrant for your arrest out of the United Kingdom. So what happens now? He goes, well, we have to go and talk about the warrant. Then we have to see if a judge is going to extradite you or not. And I was like, okay, so I go to jail? He goes, only for 1 day. I was like, why 1 day? He goes, because either they don't extradite you and you go home, or they do extradite you and you go to England. And you know what? I actually kind of felt relief. I was like, oh, so I might go England and all this Romania crap's over? Because all this case and this bullshit is still ongoing. It's still in the court. I still have these court dates I'm going to, which you've seen. I used to walk in and out of court, and fucking the DNG was there and all this bullshit. I'm still doing all this Romanian crap. I'm like, oh, I get to go England and just fuck Romania off. I was like, you know what? That doesn't even bother me. I'm like, bro, cool, let's go to the station. So we go to the station. They take me there. He lied to me. He goes, yeah, you might go to jail again. I go, whoa, that's not what you said. He goes, oh, well, the warrant says that they want to extradite you. Or at least jail you until you're extradited. I was like, okay, so now it's serious.
Thank God.
What the fuck is this about? And they said,
the only place to go from failure
a warrant for assault in 2011.
You have to achieve failure.
It's an assault.
You have to take it that far.
It doesn't
Nobody
say.
wants to go that far.
Where?
It's too scary. You know something? I got news for you. That's
what
where
date?
winning
When in
is.
2011?
It always has been.
Doesn't say.
Nothing's changed.
So what does it say? It goes, assault 2011.
Except people train.
Like, that's it?
It's hard. hardest thing in life is figuring
So I was
out
like,
who
well,
you
then how
are
the fuck do I defend
and what you
myself?
want
It
to
says
do for
assault
the rest of your
2011.
life. It's a
Assault
big decision.
2011.
And once you figure that out, you wake up
Where?
every day and
What
you work
circumstance?
toward it.
Male,
That's what you
female?
do.
I don't even know what the fuck
It's
he's talking
impossible
about.
for you to fail.
That's the word.
If you know who
So you
you
have to
are,
see a judge to
what you
decide
want
on
to do,
extradition.
and
You have to go
wake
to jail.
up every day.
I want to put you in front of a judge tomorrow morning. I go to jail. Straight
What's the
back.
matter with you?
It's amazing. You know one of the most amazing things about PTSD? It's how quick you can get it back and how hard it is to get rid
There is
of.
no tomorrow.
And how it stinks.
There is
I
no
went back in that
tomorrow.
cell. It was just like,
If you pan it down here,
I'm fucking back. I thought
you see
I'm
about 3
back
o'clock in
here.
the morning.
And in my paranoia, I was like, I'm never going to get out. It's going to be like last time, where they say I'm going to leave after a day, and then I'm stuck here for months. And I'm sitting and I'm starting to fucking, I don't panic, I don't believe in panic, but I'm starting to feel it. I'm like, I'm going to be fucking stuck here. I'm going to be stuck here again.
I'm getting it from.
And then at 7 a.m. in the morning, the guard comes, come on, cool.
There's not a person.
And I was like,
Everybody's in
at least they didn't just leave me.
dreading that it's a Monday.
So I was kind of relieved, and I go in front of the judge, and the judge was like, yeah, there's an extradition warrant
Right, everybody's getting
for
weaker. I'm
assault
getting stronger.
in the United Kingdom in 2011, and whatever you say in court will be provided to the prosecutor. How do you plead? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what you know.
You can say that. The thing, part of that thing,
She
you
said, okay.
realize through that thing that you can get
When your
rid of
case is in Romania,
for myself.
for now, I'm locked in my house.
Time.
What? Brits are trying. Wrote to the Romanians and said I was an unchecked source of influence, which started the warrants. Exactly. Go to because of my I get they send Lucy Williams with a setup. Lucy Williams gets whacked. Now they're tired of collapse. Everyone's on my side. I'm a hero. The UK panics and says, extradite, get him. And send an extradition warrant. Which is failed.
You're not the smartest.
But I'm back in my
You're
house.
not the coolest.
Because Romania doesn't work anymore for them because there's a chance.
You're something.
Romania have
You've got
always just
something
been the
that
attack
attracts
dog.
people. They don't know what it is. You don't know what it
Romania
is,
is
but
just
it's
where I was and they're
Focus and
corrupt.
fail fast.
Do you think they were surprised that you got
Focus
out
and
of Romania?
fail fast. Learn quickly.
100%.
Try something new.
I couldn't
I
believe
kind
it.
of just passed
They
that
couldn't
on
believe
because
it.
it's sort of what I
And
have
to be honest with
discovered
you,
over the
between you and I,
years
Jack,
is the
of
faster
the
you fail
280
in one,
judges,
the
if I didn't get that one
you
judge,
actually learn to
I
succeed
wouldn't have
by
a...
failing. You know, Thomas J.
I might still be there
Watson's
now.
famous line, if you want to
Only
increase
judge in the system.
your
Everyone
rate
knows
of
it's fair.
success, you must double your rate of failure. Because success lies
I could still
on
be
the
in that
far
room.
side of failure.
You do a little extra effort here.
Wonder
Take
what I look
whatever's
like now.
normal, and you do a little extra to it. That's what
So that's
what
where
makes
we
it
are. So
extraordinary.
the UK tries to extradite.
Look at the wording.
They need
Ordinary
to get me off
plus
the
a little
internet.
extra.
They need
What's
to
that
stop
extra?
the emergency meeting
No,
podcast.
that's what makes
and
the
they
difference,
need to
man.
stop the
The extra
school.
rep.
Because
Getting up
by
an extra half hour
now, please
earlier.
place
Saying you're
inside the
sorry to
video.
somebody one extra
The
time.
UK government
Little
are running
extras
stories about
combined
how Andrew
for-
Tate is banned from schools. Andrew Tate is misogynistic and young men don't listen to the female teachers in schools anymore. We're launching a program to stop Andrew Tate's influence in schools. The British government's panicking. And they're spending billions trying to deprogram men from my programming of go to the gym. Scary. While they let grooming gangs, while they let criminals steal, while they let murderers stab, while they let immigrants arrive, they're spending billions trying to stop me from telling young men to go to the gym. Members of Parliament, please play the clips. Please play the clips. Members of Parliament are standing up in Parliament twice a week saying, the biggest threat to the United Kingdom is Andrew Tate.
The effects of online influencer Andrew Tate's vile misogyny infiltrates our classrooms and society. Teachers are now having to develop their own resources to re-educate boys who are being brainwashed online by his deeply toxic messaging.
The Prime Minister The primary threat to the UK is Andrew Tate.
Many young boys are exposed to Andrew Tate and many other things of the same type, which is, on the one hand, a sort of an attraction, but on the other hand, loaded with misogyny.
The Prime Minister. All the problems of that country, everyone's talking about me. Now, the interesting question you have to ask yourself at home, what is my chance of a fair trial in the UK when the Prime Minister is saying I'm the biggest problem for the country? 0. They've just thrown away jury trials. So what's my chance of ever fucking beating the UK in anything? Fucking 0. That's why they tried to extradite me. But that judge puts me back on house arrest. The reason they requested jail until extradition is so that I couldn't speak on the internet. But I'm back on house arrest. So what do? Tristan, emergency meeting. We sit down and we start telling the truth about Keir Starmer and Ukrainian Red Boys, which he got caught doing, giving all their money away to Ukraine. UK's a fucking shithole. Corrupt. Romania corrupt. UK's corrupt. Fuck you people. We start fucking gunning for them. Because what else are we gonna do? Go down swinging. We start gunning for the UK government. We're on house arrest. A month house arrest. 2nd month house arrest. 3rd month house arrest. Just locked in our fucking house. On Twitter all day. On podcasts all day. Fixing the narrative. These counter accounts. These hater accounts who have the criminal file and doing all these podcasts and doing all this bullshit in their fucking Twitter spaces and constantly messaging out things, trying to fight their narrative. The UK government via NGOs is fighting their narrative. Us via our students and our soldiers in the school are fighting our narrative. Us on house arrest. The prosecutor saying where's your fucking money from? We're telling him to get fucked and buying a new car every day just to piss him off. Sitting there doing emergency meetings.
Unataka kulala?
Bang! 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 I hear the door. 5 a.m. But every time that we got raided, we galvanized our house against raids. However they got in the first time, they didn't get in the second time. This is raid number 3. So we got pretty good at it. We learned that they climb on the roof, so we put bulletproof glass. We bought doors from Switzerland for banks, €135,000. Blast proof. We've removed all the windows. People make fun of my house. He lives in a warehouse. Yep. Raid me, dare you. You live in a nice house with glass. It's nice and pretty. You're not safe. I am. Bang! Bang! I hear it. I wake up. I say to my girl, I'm like, give me your phone. Give me your phone. She starts panicking, gives her phone. I'm like, wipe your phone. Because all they want is phones. Wipe my phone. Factory reset. Wipe your phone. Go outside. Tristan's walking down. I'm like, wipe your phone. Done. Laptops. Wipe all our laptops. Wipe. Because all they want to see is fucking financial record, money, who we've been talking to, the school, how it works. Wipe. We wipe everything. Bang, bang, bang. And after about 6-7 minutes, I was like, everyone wiped everything? Tristan goes, yeah. I was like, let's just chill. So we go in our cigar room. We sit there. I say to my girl, coffee. She goes and makes us 2 coffees. We get a cigar, light the cigars up. And we're watching on our screen, on the cameras, 30 police outside with the fucking bat. And they're taking turns. One will go till he's tired, pass on to the next one. Now we sat there with our coffees, smoking our cigars, saying, we're so fucked, bro. Tristan's like, I know. I'm like, we're going back, aren't we? He goes, 100%. This is to be the 3rd time. There's no way we can keep getting out. They're gonna fucking bang us up. I was like, I know. What are we gonna do? And he goes, it's a matrix attack. Let's go write it out. It's you and me. Always gonna be you and me. We have to find a way to get to the same cell. We gotta do the blood pressure trick again. Gotta eat raw coffee, do the blood pressure trick. I talked about that on Patrick Bay, maybe put that in. And then I said to Tristan, I whispered in his ear, I was like, they bugged this cell, let's prove it. So we started talking about Ireland. We said, I wonder if they found the assets in Ireland. They took everything in Romania. I wonder if they found the assets in Ireland. We talked about it for about a week, and then we saw it on the news. Investigation expanded to Ireland. Neither him or I have ever been to Ireland in our lives. Never been there. No connection to it. So I was like, look, told you that was again. So we decided to just talk shit. So that's why they put us together. So we had to kind of develop sign language in the cell. So we didn't talk very much because everything was being listened to, right? Get back in the same cell. We'll do our push-ups. And just keep fighting. This is the fucking Matrix, bro. We're an enemy. We're an enemy to their enslavement. And this is what it is. I was like, yeah, you're right. Having our coffee, smoking. After about 50 minutes, they still couldn't get in. Hi, Romanian police. Not many people know that they couldn't get in my house. Bang, bang. After about 15 minutes, it stopped banging, and we watched on the cameras, and they were all just standing around outside, flabbergasted. Like, we can't get in this guy's house. They climbed all over the roof. They tried to break the bulletproof glass. They tried to break the front door. They couldn't get in. So I'm sitting there, and then we see a big yellow digger, like a big JCB, like an excavator driving down the road. And I said, Tristan, they're going to knock the walls down. They're just going to ram through the walls of the house and come in that way. Tristan goes, well, that'll be funny. And I said, yeah, but do we really need to have our house destroyed? Our phones are wiped now. We've had our coffee. We've had our chat. We're mentally prepared. Let's just open the door. Tristan goes, they're going to be so pissed. I was like, I know, bro. And then my girlfriend goes, I'll open it. It's like, really? She goes, yeah, I'm a girl. I'll just smile and try and, like, diffuse them. And, you know, I'll make some coffees. And if I'm holding a tray of coffee and I open it, maybe they won't grab me. I'm like, I can't really let you do that. Like, this is a brave thing. Let the men do it. She goes, no, you guys are brave enough. You're about to go to jail, and I'll be free, and just let me open it, please. All right. She makes this little tray of coffees. She goes to the door. She presses the button. It's a button, and all goes, unlocks. Hello? And I expected them to rush her. And I told her in advance, don't think less of a man of me if I don't start trying to kick the fuck out of these guys when they rush you, because that's what they're going to do, but that just gets me killed. Like, I'm warning you in advance. She's like, no, it's okay. But they didn't rush her. When she opened the door, they were like, we're coming in. She's like, yeah, of course. I moved. She goes, want coffee? And one of the guys on the way through actually took a coffee. He goes, thanks. They walked in. I was like, sorry, guys. Didn't hear you. And he goes, those are some good doors. And I said, criminals can't afford those doors. Don't worry about it.